You are not exempt from struggle. Everyone has hurdles in their race, and hurdles are meant to obstruct your course so that when you get past them, you appreciate the finish even more.
BTSW.
Take it from me because I am drawing from experience. I've had one or two obstacles, one or two hurdles in my life. And I know that based on video games and literally just how life works, it's important to know that people who create things, they get inspired from real life and real world events and things. So every video game that has enemies that's coming and obstructions and all of that stuff, just like when you play those video games and you know, okay, this must be the right way to go because of the obstructions, they got that idea from real life. I'll put it to you like this. Every metaphor has to have a practical application in order for it to make sense. A primary example that most people use is when they say, man, you hit the nail on the head. What that means is, just like when you literally take a hammer and a nail and you hit it directly on its head, the nail drives into the wood or whatever it is that you're nailing. That therefore means that what you were trying to do, you succeeded. You succeeded so well that it is precisely what happened. The result is precisely what you intended to have as an outcome. That means then that when you have these obstacles and these obstructions and all of that stuff, and they say, oh, well, you know, when you meet obstacles and obstructions and resistance, that must mean that you're going the right way. That makes sense. It makes sense because, well, everybody knows if it was easy, everyone would do it. But more importantly, if it was easy, most likely that's not what you are meant to do. Because not saying that you shouldn't do things that are easy, but you shouldn't use your hurdles as excuses to not move forward. This is supposed to be encouraging, so please try to excuse my tone of voice. But what most people fail to realize is that the hardships, the things that make us stronger, are those very same things that make us also appreciate whatever it is that we achieve. I'll give you an example from the opposite side of the spectrum. You that are watching this video, you are breathing right now, are you not? You probably are. If you are breathing, you think that's easy, don't you? Until you're underwater, or until something get caught in your windpipe, until you're eating some food and the food go down the wrong throat. Now all of a sudden it's hard to breathe. So as soon as you start to breathe again, you stop choking, and whatever is obstructing your breathing gets easier. You start to appreciate, even if it's only for a couple of seconds, you start to appreciate the breath that you was just taken for granted, simply because there was a struggle to continue to do the very thing that was once easy. And so anytime any little thing happens and it's like, bruh, I'm glad that I have breath in my lungs, because sometimes it's not easy to breathe, especially when you are dealing with other obstacles and obstructions. When you're dealing with other hardships and it's like your chest feel tight, you know, you got headaches, you know, all kind of bills and all kind of stuff that you worried about. It's like you can't even breathe. It's like you're holding your breath and it feels like it's hard to breathe, much less hard to do all these other things. So then you realize that, okay, well, I know I'll appreciate it more once I get over this hurdle because I realize how not easy it was. Now, that doesn't mean that you should take encouragement in when people say things like, well, you know, it could be worse, or, you know, things could be harder. No, that's like a backhanded compliment. I don't like those. I don't approve of that. That's not what this is. This ain't that. What this is me encouraging you who are watching this video, that when you encounter these hardships and then when you get over it, you appreciate those hardships. Because anyone and everyone that goes past and goes behind you over those same hurdles, you could turn around and say, listen, man, you could do it. You know? Imagine someone encouraging you to do something that they have never done. You'd be like, okay, you know what? I appreciate your kind words. Now, imagine someone encouraging you to do something that they have done that you are currently trying to do. If someone who did the same thing, took the same route as you, saying, listen, man, when I was going through this, man, it was hard, but I got through it. And I promise you, if you do X, Y, and Z, and then you follow it up with A, B, and C, and then, all these other instructions, depending on who you're talking to, they will encourage you, and you will feel encouraged because all right, this is hard, but I feel encouraged that I can go past this because someone else that did the same thing, that went through the same hardships, have now gone past it, and they said, when? Like, they're so confident in me that it make me feel confident in me too. So it's like, when I get over this, I'll appreciate it a lot more. So yeah, you're not exempt. If you are destined for greatness, if you are destined for goodness, if you are destined to be okay, you know the famous phrase, it will be okay in the end. It will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. That means when you cross the finish line, it'll be okay. And if it's not okay, that means you ain't crossed the finish line. Therefore, you have to expect hurdles. You have to accept obstacles, and in some cases, you have to expect competition, because competition is something that a lot of people get intimidated by and discouraged by. But in the end, not only is it a race, but it's a race to see who will come first, second, and third. Now, that doesn't mean that you should feel discouraged when you come last, but I guarantee you will come before the person who ran the race last time that came last, which is you. I know that was a long way to go around, but basically what I'm saying is, at the very least, even if you come dead last and you ain't a good runner, you ain't a good anything in your opinion, at least be better than who you were yesterday or last time. So your main obstacle would be yourself. So yes, even in that case, you are still not exempt from struggle. So please, if you take nothing else from this video, remember that you are not exempt from struggle. But what that also means is that when you get over those hurdles, you will appreciate that finish line even more.